My buddy Ryan and I haven't seen each other in probably about a year now, and we decided no matter what, we had to go on a camping trip. And I didn't really care where we did it, and we did some research about what was close to me, because we're about roughly an hour apart from each other at this point. And we haven't gotten any snow, and our big goal was to go hot tent camping. And hot tent camping is something I've never done before. It's a type of camping where you get a tent that is a teepee shape, but you get a wood-burning stove inside of it, so that when it's cold outside, you can still have temperatures for a t-shirt. And it's something I've always thought of doing, but I never wanted to invest the money in. But Ryan, after years, somehow got the itch to get into camping gear.
This is your gear closet, though?
Yeah, it's kind of, everything's out drying from when we went last week, but
Oh, dude.
it's pretty fucked, actually. I gotta organize it. Oh, that's my tent. Pick that up. That's.
Oh, is this the Dyneema?
Yep.
Oh,
The
dude,
whole
that
tent.
weighs
It's
nothing.
the whole tent. It's a pound. It's
Oh my
1
god.
pound, 1 ounce. Feel the trekking poles. Those are the lightest ones you can get. And that's what we'll use for the tent, for the upright. And then this is the stove. Full of ash, but I mean, it's got a little bit of heft to it. But
there's a little bit of weight.
I don't bring this.
The actual case.
No,
Yeah.
the case is actually pretty heavy. But the tent that we're gonna pitch is this. It's tent.
That's pretty much how mine weighs, but you can fit like 6 people in this, right?
Yeah, 6 person.
And I'd slowly been investing mine over the last 5 or 6 years. Growing up in Montana, I always camped. That was one of the free ways that my family could do something together. But when I was younger, I had severe asthma and crazy allergies. So he ended up picking me up. I had to get through a little bit of college research because I've been attempting to get into an optics certificate, working with camera lenses, microchips, everything that isn't physical photography, just because that industry for me hasn't lifted off and I haven't known how to do it. But I decided one way that I can make a living off of it is working with the physical cameras. Because I have a lot of joy shooting photography, and I've had a lot of fun doing landscape photography, and I put so much pressure on myself to get to big locations and go way as far out as I can and get a 4-wheel drive vehicle so I can climb the mountains. But the problem with that was I didn't have anybody to go and do that with.
That's just too good to beat right now.
So he came over and we decided to start the trip. I had my bag packed, get everything thrown into the car, and hit the road and go to stop number 1, which was Wegmans. Me and my buddy Ryan looking for the cat over here. We're about to go on a huge camping trip tonight, so we're just gonna grab some sandwiches, make sure our bellies are full, and then we're gonna pack up our bags and kind of hang out for the day, head out kind of midday, and it's gonna be a big hike, big gear. So let me show you guys what we're gonna be camping with. Which part are you most excited about, man? The hike or the actual setting up the hot tent?
I'm excited for the drive up there in silence. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. 5.5.
About 5.5 hours, and then we got about a 3-hour hike up into the camping spot. So, all right, dude, you ready?
Bears too.
Yeah.
Black bears.
Well, yeah, we're in New York, so we don't really got any of the big ones.
You gotta tell Leo. They're not 16. Requires 2 screws.
And off to part 1 of the trip.
Oh,
Hot Jemima sausage.
Tijuana amiga. Oh, Tijuana mama.
Dude, that's so rad.
I've got the best big brother ever. Thanks, Bobby.
I'm glad we're doing a camping trip like the first time we see each other.
A gnarly one too.
Yeah, this is
gonna be
fucking
huge.
intense.
Like 6 miles.
Yeah, 6-mile hike in. There's like a 15 or 2,000 foot elevation gain or something like that.
And no reception. And we don't have.
Yeah, neither of us is invested
have-
in a GPS
Nope.
phone, so. If you haven't had a proper Wegmans sub in Rochester, New York, or the surrounding areas, you've never had a sub. Subway is just such a bastardization of something so good. But it's one of those foods that on the run you feel like you can be eating healthy. I get why Subway has such a big franchise, but Wegmans, you can't touch it. The one thing we came to do is an essential of mine is to get a sub in Rochester, and we decided not to go to the one close to my place where I'm staying right now, but oh no, it's the one that's closed down. We're just gonna get pre-mades now then.
we ask somebody. We're gonna get subs. Well, they got capicola. You can't find capicola anywhere on the West Coast.
No?
Yeah, that like just doesn't exist. That's very much like a
The meat trade can't get over the Rockies.
the everything bread though. That just blew my mind. Can I do that with turkey and capicola on it? Yeah, I'm visiting in from California and they don't do capicola. Yeah, this is like one of the few places that like I have to go to when I come into town if I'm only here for a day or two. Gotta get a Wegmans sub. That's the proper. We got in trouble for marketing Wegmans. Oh no.
So after that, we ended up camping in his backyard because we didn't know where to go. So we ate tacos, hung out with Jamie, and I got to spend time with two of my best friends on the planet. And that's all that really mattered to me.
So we got done with our five and a half hour drive. 6 mile hike, 15-foot elevation, 1500. And making Ryan just do all the hard work.
We set up the tent probably over the time span of an hour. Ryan showed me some of his chainsaws because he's been doing chainsaw work, lobbing off trees all over upstate New York and just helping people out with dead trees and concerning trees. So he showed me his proud couple of pieces.
See what this thing's all about. I wish I had a wider angle lens, but this is the stakes we put in. Nice little, yeah, you can really get a good amount of people in here.
By the time we got into the tent, it was about 9 p.m. We walked our long hike of 50 feet to the tent out back, hitting probably about 25 to 35 degrees outside, and by the time we got into the tent, we had started a fire a few hours previous and the embers had been kicking. So once we got in, just had to throw in a couple of logs and get it roasting again. And I was excited. I wanted to get a little time lapse of this, and I thought I was gonna be able to mock looking inside of the woods, but how the camera set up and how we had everything spread out around the yard, it didn't make sense for us to point the camera towards the woods where I could pretend that we went on this huge adventure. So I just did a time lapse, something I love doing, pointing at the neighboring apartment complex. It was cool. I was happy I did it. So we get up the next day, get our gear all set up, bring it into the house, go up to one of my favorite places, Java Junction, and it's closed.
Damn it!
So we go to one of those places that I used to go to when I was a big party boy. I was a big party boy for about 20 years. Let's see, how old am I, 32? Yeah, because I started partying at 12, and obviously that has become a problem, so had to take a side step, but this was one of those places I used to go eat every morning at 6, 7 in the morning as the party had died down, and we got into pre-hangover food. But it was delicious. Jamie got a little garbage omelet, and if you're from Rochester, that is a legacy food item. And it was just a quick little trip. Later in the evening, my old guitarist and singer came through, got to hang out for a little bit, we listened to a bunch of death metal, and they showed me a bunch of the videos that they had watched to get inspired to start cutting down trees. And overall, it was just a great trip and nice and simple. It's one of my favorite things. So don't go camping for the location necessarily, and if you can, jump on it. But otherwise, just go camping with your friends in the backyard. Keep it simple. It's all about just spending time outside, and we had Wi-Fi, but overall, we just hung out and talked, kept the fire going, stayed up till about 12:30, 1 in the morning, kept warming our sleeping bags, and by the time morning hit, we got a little bit of snow. Super excited to see that. We were praying for it in the evening so we could wake up to, a light layer of snow outside, but I was grateful for the sloshy, wet snow that upstate New York brings. And that's just a proper camping trip.